Purdue 24, make right traffic, runway 28, cleared for takeoff.
Able Flight is a program where people can apply for a scholarship and then they get to come to Purdue and go through all this flight training to get their sport pilot certificate.
The most exciting thing about Able Flight is the fact that as an individual with a disability, I get the opportunity to be equal in the air. The fact that I get the chance to have freedom in the sky, and then I get the chance to have the freedom that was taken away from me when I became disabled, you know, that freedom of mobility and that freedom of activity.
I really like that there's a program out there for, you know, people that have disabilities or people that, you know, can't conventionally fly normal aircraft. I think it's something that should have been implemented a while ago.
When I'm up in the sky, I don't feel like there's any limitations that I have. I'm just there flying the plane, and that's really cool.
These are people who wanted to come just to pursue a dream, to want to try and do something different. And I loved that.
I think what excites me most about Able Flight is the fact that there's a challenge that I've never encountered while instructing. It's certainly the same concept. I'm still teaching someone to fly, but there's a lot more intricacy to it.
I really do enjoy it. It's being in the air, being, you know, part of the plane, and yeah, it's just something I've always wanted to do, and now I'm getting the opportunity to do it.
Roughly 1% of people can call themselves pilots. And only a fraction of that 1% are people who have a disability. Every year, a select group gets to come here and fly an adapted airplane. You have the opportunity to be one of the few who can call themselves a pilot despite having a disability. Do you think you're going to make it as a pilot?
Yes, ma'am.
Sound pretty confident despite having never done this before?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, that's what I like in a pilot. Alright, class dismissed. We have a whole syllabus where essentially us as instructors, we just teach them the basics. We start off going flying around, you just learn how to fly straight and level, learn how to climb, descend, and then we get into some maneuvers. You learn how to do stalls, you learn how to recover from stalls, and then we get into landings and making sure you can land the plane. Takeoffs are fairly easy. Landings are a little more difficult, but then we hopefully get them going solo.
Dude, that was awesome. Those landings were great.
Like, apparently looks about as like just timid as it
Your
sounds.
radios were great. The landings were great. I watched all of them from the tower.
I ain't gonna never forget that.
Good.
Never forget that.
Yeah, I'll never forget my first.
Yeah, you sprung it up on me too. I was like,
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a tradition in aviation. So forever ago, you used to have to pull on the back of someone's shirt. That way you could get their attention because we didn't have intercoms. So the tradition is, once you solo, you don't have to pull on someone's shirt anymore, right? So tradition's cut off the back of your shirt. Able Flight is not necessarily an easy program, right? There is challenge that comes with a true, real challenge. But it just depends how willing that student is to stand up to those challenges, to actively participate, to put in the work, to put in the grit behind getting their sport pilot's license.
If you don't constantly think about airplanes and aviation 24/7, just trying to get into that mindset and learn all of this aviation stuff can be a little bit of a hurdle that people have to overcome at first.
I had an expectation that it would be somewhat difficult, but I think it did surprise me on just how intensive it actually is.
Yeah, I couldn't get a landing in for the life of me. Like, I'd probably tried 10 times and just couldn't do it. So I was really frustrated yesterday. But then today, my last two, I just like buttered them, so I was happy with that. Yeah.
Something that was said to me when I was behind an aircraft one day. So like, I'm sitting there with my instructor, I'm flying the 152, learning to fly myself, and my instructor, like, and I'm just like willfully behind the plane, right?
Yeah.
Like, just like mentally, right? And my instructor, we made a landing and we like taxi off, and he goes, "You were so far behind the plane, you would have had to walk to the crash site." Right? So we all have those moments where we need to kind of cognizantly get ahead of it. So
Yeah.
it's better to be preemptive about it than proactive than reactive.
anything that's worth having, it's gonna take a lot of hard work. Hard work, I mean, it's worth having. It's too easy. It's not gonna last long. It's not gonna have a much impact.
I mean, it's definitely tough, but it's starting to see the payoffs a little bit, you know, after like the second week or so. And it is a process.
I done went up, got on the plateau a little bit, sat there for a little while, went back up some more, got back to another plateau, went back up some more. So definitely trust the process. You have to have some self-confidence about yourself.
You know, it's challenging, we work hard, but every once in a while we like to have fun too.
Look, my line, I get ready. Feeling too trippy, get it cracking like a levy. So how to party if they let me. Cue the countdown and release the confetti. The party don't start till I get there. Sit aside and the rest in it ain't fair. I've been waiting on this moment my whole life. Yeah, give me my crown if it's just right. You make it look good. Watch yourself, huh? Yeah, you make it look good. Don't let it watch yourself, huh? Cause you make it look good. Watch this.
So normally in a plane, a person has to use their feet to steer using the rudders. There's rudder pedals that are controlled by the feet, and so when you're paralyzed, you obviously can't use the rudder pedals. So what we have is this T-handle that is attached to the rudder pedals, and that allows us to control the rudder. So if I move it forward, that's right rudder, and if I pull it back, that's left rudder. And then it also controls our throttle. So if I twist it all the way, that's full throttle, and if I pull it back, that's no throttle, that's idle. So that's how we control a plane when we have to use only our hands. And then on this side, we have the right stick, which controls the elevator going back and forth, the ailerons going left and right, and the trim are all here on the thumb handle part of it, and then there's also the radio that we can control with our index finger. We also need help from our instructors to be able to do some of the pre-flight inspections. So they'll get up, they'll check the oil and anything up on the wing, the gas, make sure the gas is full and the gas caps are on. So they do help us with pre-flight. Everything else we can manage in the plane. Sometimes getting into the plane requires a little help too. But once we're done with that, then we're able to fly on our own. So it's just the pre-flight stuff, and that's about it.
It's okay to step outside the box. It's okay to think outside the box. Most of all, to be impactful, having a purpose. To always feel great doing something that's bigger than yourself.
This is kind of the idea that without a goal you can't score, right? So this gives you an opportunity to score. After you've soloed and you've done some cross countries where you fly to other airports, we really get into that spot where we're just making you kind of check ride ready, right? So making sure that you're within the standards so that you can take your FAA exams. And then the end goal of the Able Flight program is that you get your sport pilot certificate and that you can then operate in the National Airspace System as a sport pilot.
I told a few people about this program and they were just like, they just almost don't even believe it. They're like, you're gonna be able to fly a plane? Like, and it's like, yeah, I mean, we're gonna find out.
My favorite part is rediscovering my love of flying, because up until this point I've just been training myself. I've been going from one certification to another, and this is me teaching people who have never flown before, and it's so fun to watch them, their eyes just open to a whole new world.
My favorite part of Able Flight is the exhilaration that I get from being able to fly, and the exhilaration I get from being able to do something that not a lot of people do. And not just not a lot of people do it, but definitely not a lot of people with disabilities get to do it. It's an opportunity that I would never have any other way and under any other circumstances. And that is a huge door that is open, not just for me, but I get to open it for others as well.
I'd rather think about the possibilities and what I can do than focus on what I can't. And so this program, Able Flight, being able to think about such an amazing thing that's possible to do, to fly a plane, is just really cool. And I've been really enjoying that. It's one of the most fun things I've done since my injury. I hope that it will also show others what's possible, other people with disabilities, but also anyone, you know. There's a lot of people who don't have a disability but still might be hesitant to try new things, or, you know, to see what's possible for them. And I hope, you know, seeing what someone in a wheelchair can do and flying a plane will help other people see that, oh yeah, I can do cool stuff too, and try new things and see if I can push those limits a little bit.
Keep faith. Always try to achieve. Move with a purpose. Everything else gonna take care of itself. Don't worry about too many things you can't control. Focus on what you control. Always be an inspiration to the youth. The youth is our future.